What's up, fellow Crash fans? My name's Austin, otherwise known as Crash Fan 2001, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be doing my first ever review, and I decided to do a review on my Dr. Nefarious Tropy Resaurus figure. So this just came in yesterday. I was originally going to do an unboxing video on it, but this thing was packaged pretty damn well, and you know, it was kind of hard to get out of the package, so I thought I'd save it for a separate review, clean it up, and all that stuff. But here's Dr. Entropy. I actually got this used on eBay for a fairly decent price. It was kind of pricey, but I do want to shout out my buddy RazeIsOp for actually purchasing this figure for me, and I also want to give a shout out to the seller for being generous enough to accept a different offer, a slightly cheaper offer. Very communicative and very nice as well, so I do appreciate that from the seller, that they were kind enough to discount this figure and also throw in the Uka Mask for free. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, here's Uka. As you can see, it's got a Cortex face on the back, so if you have a Cortex figure, you can actually put this on his face, so that's pretty cool. But we're here to review Entropy himself. So what all does he come with? He comes with a black gem, he comes with a stand, which I don't have those two, and he also comes with Uka, which I do have. So unfortunately I don't have a stand, so I can't really, you know, stand him up and display him well. So, you know, he's kind of top heavy, so he'll fall over really easily. But he does come with his tuning fork staff, so as you can see here, it's kind of like a metallic paint. It's very reflective. I think that's a pretty cool choice of paint they used here. Very cool weapon. I do like Entropy's staff. It's one of my favorite weapons in the series. Very interesting. But yeah, as you can see, there's a staff. Not much to it, but still pretty cool nonetheless. I mean, it wouldn't really make much sense if they didn't throw it in with him. But here's Tropy himself. So right off the bat, how does this figure feel? Very fragile, which is very ironic because Tropy is actually one of the more fragile figures in the line. Because everything is supported by his chest piece, so once that pops off, everything just falls apart. So his legs, his arms, his head, even his piston mechanism, which we'll get into in a minute, it just all comes out. So I definitely want to be very careful with this figure. But I guess we'll start off with articulation. His arms, they move. They're on like little ball joints and swivels and stuff like that, so you can move his arms all the way around if you really wanted to. You can also move them in and out, but this figure, unfortunately, the joints are really tight, so I don't want to risk, you know, breaking them. Also, this arm here it just won't move out, you know, so I'm not going to try to force it, but it does do the same thing the other arm does. Just unfortunate, I guess this figure just kind of caught up with itself in age. But as for the arms, they do rotate. They kind of swivel like this. They don't move back and forth. There's no joints on the elbows, nothing too fancy like that. Here's his other arm. As you can see, it does the same exact thing. It kind of just rotates. Also, his staff kind of just, you know, it just fits right into his hand. You kind of have to force it in, which unfortunately you will start to shed some paint off over time. As you can see, oops, there's some black paint there. So yeah, you do have to be careful with these figures. The paint just comes off really easily. These figures are hand painted in some areas, I believe. Not too sure about that, but as for his head is kind of loose. This figure in particular, I think, I'm not sure if this figure broke at one point, but his head does feel kind of a little loose. It also moves around, kind of, you know, just does that, kind of bobs around, stuff like that. Up here is his little tuning fork on his helmet. That is also an accessory because by default he can't fit like this in the package, so they had to take this off and just put it next to him as an accessory, which, you know, that's fine. I mean, it comes off. I haven't tried taking it off because it's in there pretty well. I don't think I will try to because I don't want to loosen it up. But as for his legs, not much going on with his legs. I mean, his waist does rotate around, you know, it's kind of stiff, so I don't want to take the risk of breaking it, but his waist does move around. Sadly, his legs don't swivel or rotate or anything like that. They're kind of just stationary, which makes it really hard to display him because you can't position his legs any more than they are now. Also on the bottom here are some pegs for you to stand him up on. So if you have the Resaurus stands, then you can actually display him, but I'm pretty sure he'd still fall over regardless because he's pretty top heavy. But yeah, that pretty much does it for our articulation and stuff. But let's go ahead and get into the back here. So, as we all know in the Crash games, Tropy has, you know, a giant chest plate looking thing, like armor that he uses, and it's constantly moving the pistons in the back. Well, this figure actually has a mechanism. If you push the pistons down, there's like a little seesaw thing in his chest here, or in his back. And if you push down on the pistons, they go up, down, up, down. It's kind of hard to do it on this figure. I think it's just because it's aged so much. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty neat little feature there. But yeah, in terms of detail, this figure is actually pretty nice. I do like the details on it. You know, they've got, the brown is maybe a little bit too light. But other than that, the facial features, I mean, it looks like Tropy. That's all that matters. And, you know, I like the little arm thing they did here. They've got the exhaust pipe in the back here, you know. A lot of great attention to detail, except maybe for the boots because they're actually inverted colors. The boots are supposed to be brown, not black, but, you know, just little minor detail they missed. And like I said, it also comes with the Uka Mask. I may as well, you know, show this off. This is pretty damn cool, actually. It's pretty accurate. And like I said, there's a Cortex engraving, Cortex face engraving on the back. So if you have the Cortex Resaurus figure, then you can actually put this on his face. But do be warned, it will start to chip the paint off of your Cortex figure's face over time. So just be cautious how you use this mask. But you guys might be thinking that's all for this review. Nope. I got one last thing to show you guys. It's gonna blow your mind. Here we go. Bam. So, yeah, there's actually a story to this. I do have a boxed one as well. I actually got it not long after this one, actually a couple days. So the story behind this is, like I said, my buddy, he actually purchased this for me. And this was when I thought, like, okay, man, I'm probably never gonna get a Tropy figure. I need some help out on this because, you know, I asked him for some help. And a couple days later, I ended up finding a boxed Tropy figure on a different site, and it was much, much, much cheaper. So I was telling him, like, I can't pass this up, I have to get it. And we were kind of joking about the timing of the listings, because you would think that a boxed Tropy figure would be much, much more expensive, and in more cases they are, than the used ones, because Tropy himself is actually pretty damn rare. If I'm not mistaken, he's actually probably the second rarest Crash Resaurus figure next to the motorcycle bundle. So, I actually have two of them now. And at first, I was kind of, you know, skeptical because, you know, my friend, he bought the used one for a crazy price, and I ended up getting the boxed one myself for a much cheaper price. So, I was kind of skeptical at first, but he was alright with it. And so now here I am with two Tropy figures, and it's pretty surreal to me because I've been after one for a little while now, ever since I got back into collecting stuff. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the review, honestly, for the figure itself. But let's go ahead and take a look at the box here. So, as you can see, everything's new. The bubble's in pretty good condition. The card, I can't really say much. There's a couple dents on the bottom, but it's still sealed nonetheless. I'm going to keep it that way. I'll never open this figure. But as you can see, the sticker, actually I didn't point this out, but the sticker on Tropy's chest is actually holographic. I don't know if you can really tell. You can kind of tell with the big hand on the camera. But yeah, Tropy's clock sticker is actually holographic, and sadly, like all stickers, they begin to come off over time. So this specific figure, the sticker came off in the box. It's kind of hard to see, but it is down there. But as you can see, for accessories, comes with that black gem. It's right there, as well as the stand, which is in there. So yeah, there's all that. And then there's little Tropy's promotional art and stuff. And on the back here, there's just standard Resource Series 2 Crash figures that we've all probably seen before. There's the motorcycle bundle. That is actually the rarest bundle to get in this entire line. So maybe someday I'll get a hold of those, but I have Tropy and I have Wave Rider Coco, so, you know, I'm going to go for the others first, probably. But, yeah, that's pretty much Tropy in box, and as well as Tropy out of box. So, yeah, overall, what do I think of this figure? I think it's a pretty good looking figure. I mean, it's very good for its time. This figure came out back in 1998, and they were all made very cheaply. So if you've had, Crash Bandicoot Resaurus figures, then you'll know that they break very, very easily. And I don't want to take the risk with these figures. I've heard stories of Tropy figures just falling over and coming apart completely. And I don't know if this figure has been broken in the past or, glued back together. Maybe that's why I can't move the arm. Maybe that's why the head's a little wobbly. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with it too much because, like I said, I don't want to take a risk of breaking these figures. But yeah, that's Tropy. Tropy is one of my favorite characters, so I'm very happy to have this figure, let alone two of them. I mean, things kind of worked out differently, but yeah, that's Tropy. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, comment down below if you have any Resaurus figures, and also comment if you'd want to see any more reviews in the future, because I do plan on going for all of the Resaurus figures, the ones that I can go for, but chances are they'll be in box. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, drop a like, comment, share, do whatever you need to do to show your support. I've been Crash Fan 2001, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.